let's talk a little bit about a few things about the Basmallah. Basmallah means the Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim that we see in the Quran. That's what it refers to. So, is it part of the Quran? That's the scholars, they talked about it a lot. And I don't want to get into too much debates and refutations. I just wanted to mention, because I've seen sometimes people arguing about it in the masajids, just to know, is it really part of the Quran? It's written every time in the beginning of the surah. Imam Shafi and Imam Ahmad, they clearly said with their evidences that every Basmallah is part of the Quran. That belongs to Quran. But we have another scholars also, they said, like Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik, rahmatullah, they said that it is not part of the Quran. That's their opinion. And the shuyukh that I studied this Ulumul Quran with, their opinion was that based on the evidences, they said that if you're talking about Surah Al-Fatiha, that is definitely part of the Quran. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That's why even you pick up this Mus'haf, especially the one that is printed in the Medina printing complex, you see Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, you see verse number 1, end of verse number 1, and then Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin is the second verse. Compared to that in the continents, the countries where Imam Abu Hanifa's madhab is followed, they have it as a first verse, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. So that's a difference. So it's again, we have to respect all opinions. So the scholars also said that why do we have these basmalas? It's because to separate one surah from the other. So so that's why, for example, when we want to recite maybe in one rakah 2 surahs, right? Suratul Falaq and Suratul Nas, for example. So وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدَ. So we complete Suratul Falaq and we want to go into Suratul Nas. So we can't just jump to Qul A'udhu bi Rabbin Nas. We have to mention Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim and then go with Qul A'udhu bi Rabbin Nas. And that's why you see that connection in the tajweed rules in the Mus'haf. There's like a little meme because of iqlab, because you'll say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim after that. So that is one thing.
But this is also itself ayah of some surah.
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
Some say
Surah
it's also part of surah.
That's right. I mean, it's part of surah. I'm talking this particular about the beginning part, because we don't see, like for example, if I ask everybody what is the first verse of Surah Al-Baqarah, what will people say? Alif Lam Mim. That's the convention. They think that that starts with Alif Lam Mim, but there is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before that. So is it part of that first verse, or is it just marked as separation? So again, that was the differences among the scholars. But when we are reciting, we have to make sure that we recite Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim along with it. Just point of note that we have to respect opinions. There are some opinions which are completely wrong, but the scholars like Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik, they are really genius people. We have to respect them, whatever their opinion is. So again, Surah Al-Fatiha, we don't have to recite Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim loudly, even though it is part of the Quran. But you can recite, that is an option for you. But the problem comes when you, for example, this particular surah, because we know that hadith that if you do not recite Surah Al-Fatiha, your salah is invalid. So if Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is part of the Surah Al-Fatiha, and if you don't recite it, you are risking it. So it's better that you always recite Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before Surah Al-Fatiha. Surah Al-Tawbah. What's so special about this? This one does not have Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim at the start of the Quran and this surah. Why is it? Why we don't have it? All other surahs, 114 surahs have it. Why we don't have it? Scholars again have given their opinions. We have 4 or 5 lot of them. But at the end, simple reason is that Jibreel alayhi salam did not reveal this surah with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That's it. And now scholars mention a lot of other reasons as well, because of the mercy, mention of mercy and so on. But I mean, at the end,
isn't it jihad?
Yeah, I don't remember what exactly it starts with, but those were opinions of scholars.
Because of the chapter of jihad.
Yeah, it's also called Baraf.
It has a lot of courses for
It's jihad.
So the other thing, that other opinion that for example, the companions of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what they used to say was that this Surah At-Tawbah, it was part of Surah Anfal, the one that is beginning with it. So that's why they used to think that it is one surah. So that's why Uthman radiallahu anhu, when he was compiling it, he kept it together with it and he didn't mark it. So there was like there were people who were thinking, does it belong here or not? So Sahaba were of the opinion that this is part of the same surah. But Uthman radiallahu anhu, he said, no, this is a different surah, it goes here. So that's why we follow 114 surahs. Anyways, we just follow how it was revealed, how Prophet Muhammad used to read it. That's the bottom line. Allah knows why he chose something. Scholars have opinions. Names of the surahs. Names of the surahs. What did I write here? Okay. The names of the surahs. Who gave the names to the surahs? The one that we say, the Tawbah, Anfal, Mulk. So the names of the surah itself that we see in the Mus'haf here, that was written for us. It wasn't there in the actual Uthmanic script, Uthmani radiallahu anhu. He didn't write it. It was, some of the names were given by scholars, some of them particularly given by Prophet Muhammad, but all the 114, it was not given name by Prophet Muhammad. Some of the scholars made it so that it's easy for us. For example, there's a Surat Al-Ghafir, there's another name for it, Mu'min, Al-Mu'min. Mu'minun? No, that's Mu'min. Ghafir is Mu'min. Ghafir is Mu'min. Mu'min, yeah, Mu'min. So, I mean, sometimes some surah has different names. Why? Because if Prophet Muhammad didn't say any particular name, scholars, based on how some certain words appear in the Quran or that surah, gave a name to it. So that is, how it came about. We have multiple names for some surahs though.